Ten Hag held a press conference as we play Luton Town tomorrow at the Old Trafford Stadium before we go into the international break. Most of the things we went ahead to talk about were obviously the Rashford scenario, Mason Mount, Johnny Evans, the 9 defeats so far this season in the 17 games we're going to have to play. Then he also went ahead to obviously discuss a little bit about Luton Town, and that's why we call it the Ten Hag Presser Digest versus Luton Town. Rock and David is my name. Kennedy, thank you for already being into the live chat and hope you're here. You've been waiting. I'm sorry for the delay, but finally I'm here to obviously bring you the latest that you guys really deserve to know. So smash the like button, comment, and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. We are left with few subscribers to hit 16,000 subscribers, which is going to be a very huge milestone. So if at all you're watching us for the very first time or you've been watching us on this channel, go ahead and do the needful and subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Then after this video, I'm obviously going to be uploading the match preview that most of you are really eagerly waiting in for, and hope you guys are really going to enjoy it. And I'm obviously going to let you know who do I think Ten Hag is going to start into that team of Man United that's obviously going to face the side of Luton Town. First, with the injury update, Eric Ten Hag told us that John Evans is unavailable to face Luton Town, so we don't in this moment have a full assessment done. We didn't finish it. We don't have the details so far, but for tomorrow versus Luton Town, he's totally out. That's what Ten Hag is going to have to let us know about Johnny Evans. Now, if at all you know Johnny Evans, he really walked off the field of play as United was really playing Luton Town, and Rafael Varane came in through to replace him before Marcus Rashford got a red card to make everything go gaga and ugly on the day. Now, it's not only John Evans alone who is going to be out of this fixture, but Casemiro, Luke Shaw, Lisandro Martinez, Tyrell Malacia, Amad Diallo. All those are really out because of injury, and you don't expect them to come in through and really put in a shift in that fixture. So that's the first update that Eric Ten Hag is going to have to confirm to us as he was doing the pre-match press conference as United prepares to take on the side of Luton Town down there in Manchester. And that's going to be that is tomorrow, right? Then about Marcus Rashford, he went ahead and obviously gave us a detailed hint about Rashford. He told us that Rashford is not happy. We are not happy. He has high expectations from himself at the moment. He's not in his best form, but I know he will be back. In this moment, he's not in his best form, but I know he'll be back. When the player is playing better, he will play better. He will score goals. I'm confident of that. So yeah, also this season, he will improve and score. He's totally in the team. He says he's totally in the team and aware of everything. He'll be back on track, and it can't happen very quickly. Sometimes you only need one game, and I'm sure he'll get there. So that is what Ten Hag is confirming to us, that maybe Marcus Rashford needs one game. Remember this season, Rashford has gone ahead, I think, to score only one goal, if at all I'm not mistaken. But he put in 2 assists against Nottingham Forest. He went ahead to put up an assist for Rasmus Højlund in the game of Bayern Munich and the game of Galatasaray, taking his tally of assists to 4. Ever since then, Rashford hasn't come out, obviously, offer us what we expect from him, and we anticipated that he has to be doing better and better and better and better and better at the moment. So I really want to let you know that it's not all going on as planned, but we all agree to it that Rashford is a very good player, and right now he's really struggling to get his form back, and getting a red card as we played the side of Copenhagen was really a very huge blow, because in that game, you'd have gone ahead to expect that maybe Marcus Rashford was obviously going to come in through and really score for the club of Man United, because we had gone ahead to get 2 quick goals, and maybe there would have been a chance for the team to say to it, now, let's obviously do something for this lad, that he's Rashford, like Arsenal did it for Kai Havertz. Remember that game where Arsenal came in through and really gave him a penalty to score. So if I went ahead to obviously score or to get in to get in him there, and he never got a red card. Maybe he needed just one goal to obviously get his confidence back. When he scored against Italy, we all thought that maybe that was the spark moment or the sparky moment for him to get back. But it has been really bad for Marcus Rashford. And I think he needs to obviously see himself really get back to where he deserves to be as a player, because it's really nagging. And he is really one of those players that are really fighting to get back. And I think Garnacho has gonna hate to do a better job in his lack of form. Garnacho has gonna hate to obviously do a very beautiful job, especially when our player Marcus Rashford is really fighting to get his form back. And lucky enough, he has been included into the England national team squad that's obviously going to play into the Euro qualifiers versus Malta and North Macedonia. And I think these are games that you really anticipate him to come in through and obviously score goals, if at all you are a player or a fan of Man United. And you never know, if he doesn't score against Luton Town, then he might score some good goals to obviously bring back his confidence. But the best game for him to score a goal would have been that of Luton Town at Old Trafford, because those fans will obviously have to hail him and really do the needful. But Garnacho is doing the job and keeping everyone on the edge of his seat. All of us are really wearing joy of this guy, because this guy is going to hate obviously show us that he's really one of a kind. Now, Marcus Rashford and Harry Maguire are the only two players of Manchester United that have been included into the squad of England. So it shows you how Mason Mount is far off, the pecking order. Luke Shaw is out injured. You would anticipate that if at all he was there, would have gone obviously to join them. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, nowhere near close to being invited into that. But obviously, he really had lots of things to do to see to it that he takes it to the next level at the side of what's the name? At the side of Luton Town. So I anticipate that that's really one of the moments that Marcus Rashford should pick on to obviously raise himself to go to where he deserves to be as a player, because it's all about picking your moments, And the reason as to why the likes of Lionel Messi and right? Ronaldo, what is going to hit to make them exceptional in this game of football? It's when they choose their moments. When the world expects them to obviously rise up, they rise up. And that's what Marcus Rashford should obviously get into his mind, that when the world expects you to rise up, you should rise up. Like when Man United fans expect him to obviously rise up against Luton Town, let him come up, score a goal, perform well, and the rest will be history. Then he'll get back to the winning ways and really scoring goal ways. But you remember that by the time we went to the World Cup in November 13th, Marcus Rashford had only scored 6 goals in the league, But when he came after the World Cup, he showed us that he could turn out to be one of the most important players on the field of play. And that's what he went ahead to obviously show us at the side of Man United. So we never know. Maybe after the international break, Marcus Rashford is obviously going to open up his account with very many goals. Or he's starting tomorrow against Luton Town. God knows. Now let's go to Mason Mount, another struggling player. And Ten Hag was asked about the lack of minutes of this gentleman. And Ten Hag had the following to say. He said that he had some stats also recently last week against Newcastle, but there are always reasons, and sometimes like the injury at the start of the season and other players doing well, then you have to wait for your time to play. Obviously, Erik ten Hag had a lot of things to do for this man to obviously put up a show, and he went ahead to put up a show. And when he put up a show, I think when he was really nearing becoming good and no one was doubting him, or he had gone ahead to prove a person like me, because for me, I don't believe in him really coming good. When he was trying to prove me wrong, especially after that game of Tottenham Hotspur that we lost 2-0, and we saw him really performing at that level, Manchester United saw him go to an injury and kept him out for a month. So it's a setback. He needs to obviously come and really find himself back, because it's not always the same when a player really gets injured. That is it. It's never the same. And let no one lie to you that it will ever be the same. It will never be the same when the player really gets injured. So Ten Hag is saying that he's struggling because of him becoming injured, and when he returned from injury, his players, some players at Man United, were really performing better than him. So that's what Eric Ten Hag has gone ahead, obviously, tell us about Mason Mount. Then he added and said it hasn't changed at all expectations of Mount, but he started the season, then he got injured. So that is the worst moment for a new player to get injured, because it stops the integration process, and that was a setback for us. Now we have to find his place back. So he needs to obviously work hard. That's what Ten Hag is telling him, that he needs to prove to him that he's better than the players that are really ahead of him. To see to it that he really proves us. And I think for Mason Mount, though I really don't believe that he was the right signing, but Ten Hag might turn him into a very good player. You never know, because by the time he got an injury, he was obviously playing well. You can all agree with me that this guy was putting in a shift before he got an injury. And in the game of Spurs that we are beaten 2-0, he was really all over the place. So Eric Ten Hag has a very, 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 very big job to do to see to it that the signing obviously comes good. Because if at all it doesn't, then the media will be on him, as if he's the only manager who was going to hate to sign players that have gone ahead to fail, not to work out for the club that he manages. Then he was asked about the 9 defeats so far for the club of Manchester United this season. He said it's about the end result and we have to win every game. So we are very disappointed. Finally, it's about the end result and it's always about the process. Thinking about it and then managing the process, which is what I focus on. So everyone who is talking about sacking Eric Ten Hag, do you know that he's the first Man United manager to click or to clinch 50 wins in few games, you know? So don't ever disrespect this man. This man deserves respect, and you need to continue obviously giving him the best that he deserves as a manager. And I don't really find it sane for anyone who comes out and obviously tells us that Eric Ten Hag is not doing what he's supposed to be doing. What do you think he's supposed to be doing? To me, I believe it's all about a matter of time. I've always been one of those people that I'm going to let you know that for Sir Alex Ferguson to settle in at Man United, he was given 5 years. Now, after 5 years, he got us where we are supposed to be. So, for Eric Ten Hag, in his first season, he finished third, won a Carabao Cup, played an FA Cup final, got knocked out of the UEFA Europa League in Spain, and you knew why all that happened. It's because of us having injuries. At Old Trafford, I've gone ahead to win that game of football comfortably, but we really got injuries, you know. Rafael Varane at the 45th minute, he got off. Lisandro Martinez, when the game was 2-1, around the 86th minute, got off the field of play. And you all know that the substitutions were done and we played 10 men until the game came to an end. So, to me, I would like to reflect and really give you that, because Sir Alex Ferguson had 5 years to win the first trophy for Manchester United. It was an FA Cup in 1991. And then in the season of 1991-1992, he won the Premier League. And that's when he obviously started his ride at the club of Manchester United. So whoever is calling in for the sacking of Eric Ten Hag should know that our best manager, and he's being referred to as the best manager in world football ever, that is Sir Alex Ferguson. He was at the club of Man United for 5 years, and that's when he went ahead to obviously win all clinch his first trophy. So everyone coming in at Eric Ten Hag that was going to have to lose 9 games in his first 18 or 17, that's trash. That's trash, and I think he can turn it around. When you look at the Premier League table, we are just 6 points behind the team in the fourth position, meaning that we can easily add up that. And in the Champions League, if at all we win our 2 games, we don't even need to win our 2 games. All we need is to beat Galatasaray, right? After beating Galatasaray, we come at Bayern Munich and get a point. Simple stuff. That's what we need. And after all that, the rest will be history in here onto the United Matters channel. So guys, thank you very much for obviously watching it through. And don't obviously forget to obviously keep it a point of really being here every time we call you to obviously come and really take us to where we deserve to be. Now, Eric Ten Hag was asked about the player's character, and this is reflecting to how we went ahead, obviously, to lose the game that went ahead to play. That went ahead to play at. That went ahead to play at what's at or in Copenhagen, and we found ourselves in a position of really losing when we led twice into that game. So that really came up, and it gave us the best that we expected from Man United, but they reached an extent and obviously dropped a little bit. So Ten Hag has said about the character that I think we often proved we can, like at Fulham, Brentford, this team can overcome big setbacks. So I think when I tell you that Erik Ten Hag is one of the best managers in the world, you might say I just really hate him. Now, if after losing to Copenhagen, he was going to host a very huge team at Man United at Old Trafford, then it would have been a very bad story for him and not good news for him. But he's obviously going to host Luton Town, a team that everyone knows that we have to beat to pulps, And Erik Ten Hag is ready, and he knows that he's going to take that to the next level. Then on Luton Town, he said, I think they have had some good performance and results. We are aware of that, and there is no easy game in the Premier League. You must be at your best, and we have to be 100% focused to win. So, it was not on the screen. So that's what Erik Ten Hag had to say about us, that in the Premier League, there is no team that is really weak. All you need to do is to see that you do the needful, and after doing that needful, you obviously take it to the focus. After focusing, turn those points into wins, and then the rest will be history. That is it that Erik Ten Hag is telling us about the game of Luton Town, and he says that no team is really small in the Premier League. Now, let's go to some of your says. Kennedy, good evening, Aradi. I have hope that Ten Hag will change our team. Let's just give him time and support, and the board to give him the first choice players, not second either. Third, tomorrow we are going to win to add 3 to our 18 to make it 21. Yeah, I also hope that we really do that and win that beautiful game of football. After winning that beautiful game of football, then we'll go to the international break when at least the pressure has gone ahead to calm down a little bit. That is it. Then Semuju, man, I believe in Ten Hag, inshallah. Yeah, Erik Ten Hag is the future. That is it. He's the guy we need to reckon with. And if at all you know exactly what reckoning with a person means, then you shouldn't obviously call out the sacking of this manager. All you have to do is simple. Let's back the manager and let's give him the best that he really deserves. Then Kennedy, let's trust this man. The guy is passing through a lot, but one will come back strong. Yeah, it's all about trusting the manager. He's going through a lot, we all admit, and it's not always easy to turn it around the club of Man United if at all you're working under the Glazers. But all in all, things will obviously come good for this man in a nick of time. I really understand that. Then I have Muyonjo. Thanks, I already appreciate the good work you are doing as a United fans. Thank you very much for watching through. And you're also doing a very good job for obviously coming in through and really subscribing to this channel and keeping yourself in the know of the United news. Gordon Muhwezi, live from Mbarara, Western Uganda. How are you? Gordon Muhwezi coming in from the land of milk, right? How are you doing? Then you said, fatigue is killing our team. Give the young lads some chance. I think Ten Hag is going to obviously try to integrate the young and the experience. When you look at how he's using Garnacho, Pelestri, Hannibal, who else? I think when Amad Diallo comes in through, it's obviously going to be another big day for the club of Manchester United. And I think lots of things are obviously going to be happening for the club of Manchester. So to me, it's not a doubt that Erik Ten Hag is the right man to obviously turn around this club of Man United. And if I told you outside there and you think he's not, I respect your opinion, but you need to back it with facts. And for me, I'll back it with facts, with the history of this club. First and foremost, Sir Alex Ferguson turned around the club of Manchester United after spending 5 years at the club of Man United. That is it. You know, even after 2000 and from 2004 to 2006-7, it took him 2-3 years to build the team of Wayne Rooney, Tevez, Ronaldo, Nani, Michael Carrick, Park Jin-sung, Patrice Evra, Nemanja Vidic, that team, Rafael da Silva, the Fletchers of this world, the Babatovs. It took Sir Alex Ferguson 6 years to obviously build that team. And when he built that team, the rest was history. So let's not back this manager, because if at all there is anyone who deserves to be backed, it's none other than Erik ten Hag. And we need to obviously give him the respect that he deserves, and respect has to be put onto his name. So that's all about the Ten Hag Presser Digest versus Luton Town. I sign out for now. See you later, and I'm returning with the match preview in like an hour from now. So turn your notification bells on, and may the living to God bless you abundantly. The Muslims, Barakallahu fikum, welcome back from the mosques. See you later, and hope you guys are really ready.